Welcome to a journey into the heart of storytelling, where the power of a well-told tale can captivate, entertain, and inspire. Did you know that according to a recent study, the average human spends about 6 years of their lifetime engrossed in stories, whether through books, movies, or conversations? Yet, despite our natural love for stories, crafting one that sticks with the audience is no small feat. In this video series, we're diving deep into the common pitfalls that even seasoned storytellers can fall into when developing their themes. From elusive emotions to predictable plots, we'll unpack the mistakes that can make a story fizzle out and show you how to fix them. Each chapter is designed to arm you with practical strategies, turning storytelling blunders into breathtaking successes. Are you ready to transform your storytelling skills and see your stories resonate like never before? Let's set the stage and begin the adventure of crafting narratives that are not only heard but felt and remembered. Chapter 1. Crafting your core. The perils of a patchy premise. When you start telling a story, the heart of your tale, your theme, must be clear and strong. Yet, one common mistake many budding storytellers make is beginning with a premise that's as shaky as a house of cards. Imagine building your story on a foundation that's unclear or too broad. It's like setting sail in a leaky boat. So, how do you fix a patchy premise? It starts with asking the right questions. What is my story really about? What message do I want to convey? A solid theme is not just a one-liner, it's the soul of your narrative. As author Lisa Cron suggests in her book Wired for Story, a story without a solid theme is like a person without a personality. That's something to ponder. To refine your theme, sketch out the core message in a single sentence. This exercise forces you to distill your idea to its essence. If you can't explain your theme succinctly, you might not understand it well enough yourself. Remember, clarity is king. Another effective strategy is to look at stories you admire. Analyze their themes. How do these themes resonate with you, and why? This reflection can provide a blueprint for solidifying your own theme. Consider this. In a study by the National Association of Colleges and Employers, narratives with a clear, engaging theme were 50% more likely to hold the audience's attention than those without. Your theme doesn't just guide your plot, it captivates your audience. Finally, use feedback loops. Share your theme with friends or fellow writers. Can they see the message you're trying to convey? If not, it's back to the drawing board. Remember, a well-crafted theme is a beacon that guides your entire narrative. Chapter 2. Beyond the beaten path. Escaping predictable plots. Nobody likes a story they can predict from the first page. Yet, many storytellers find themselves walking this well-trodden path, recycling familiar plots. If your theme is the soul of your story, then the plot is the journey it takes. Make it a journey worth following. To veer away from predictable plots, start by flipping expectations. If your story setup leads down a familiar route, take a detour. For example, if you're writing a love story, what happens if the meet-cute doesn't lead to love at first sight, but to a rivalry? Suddenly, you have a fresher angle. Incorporating elements of surprise is key. According to psychologist Jerome Bruner, stories that deviate from the expected are up to 70% more memorable. This doesn't mean adding twists just for the sake of shock. Each twist should deepen the understanding of your theme. Use the "what if" technique to explore alternative scenarios. What if your hero fails where everyone expects success? What if your villain has a moment of kindness? These questions push your plot into uncharted territories. Lastly, don't forget the power of character-driven stories. Sometimes, letting character decisions and growth dictate the plot can lead you to unexpected places. As George R.R. Martin famously said, "I like to know where I'm going, but I love to be surprised by how I get there." Chapter 3. Emotional echoes. Avoiding superficial sentiments. When it comes to storytelling, the emotional journey is what truly grips the audience. Yet, a common stumble for many is crafting a theme that skims the surface emotionally, never diving deep into the visceral experiences of the characters. This disconnect can make your story forgettable instead of impactful. First off, authenticity is key. You need to ensure that the emotions in your story resonate truthfully with the experiences of your characters. A helpful tip is to draw from real emotions and experiences. Reflect on your own life or those around you. Emotions grounded in reality always ring true. Consider the power of subtlety. Not every emotional expression needs to be loud or dramatic. Sometimes, a quiet moment of introspection can be more powerful than a loud outcry. According to a study by the American Psychological Association, subtler emotional expressions in stories are often perceived as more genuine. Don't just tell your audience what to feel, show them. Use actions and circumstances to reveal the emotional state of your characters. For instance, instead of saying, "John was sad," show John watching old videos of happy times on his phone. Show, don't tell. Use contrasting emotions to heighten impact. Placing a moment of joy right next to a moment of sorrow can make both feelings more intense. This technique, often used in cinema, can be just as effective in written narratives. Lastly, revise with an emotional lens. Go through your draft and ask for each scene, does this moment feel true to the character's emotional journey? Is the emotional payoff earned? As author Stephen King notes in On Writing, an unearned emotion is probably the cardinal sin of storytelling. Chapter 4, Colorful Characters. Steering clear of stereotypes. Characters are the lifeblood of any story, but relying on cliches and stereotypes can make your cast predictable and unengaging. Breaking away from these molds not only enhances your theme but also endears your characters to the audience. Start by giving your characters unique backgrounds. Diversity in backstory and personality enriches your narrative and helps each character stand out. Remember, uniqueness does not necessarily mean exotic. It's about depth and complexity. Avoid one-dimensional motives. People are rarely driven by a single motive in real life, and neither should your characters. Layer their motivations. Maybe your hero is saving the world, but he's also trying to prove something to himself or someone he lost. Challenge gender norms and expectations. For example, feature a female character who is not just tough but also openly emotional, combining traits that defy traditional archetypes. According to gender studies, characters that break traditional molds are often more relatable and memorable to a modern audience. Lastly, dialogue is a powerful tool for revealing character without resorting to exposition. How a character speaks, word choice, dialect, tone, can say a lot about their background and personality. Make dialogue work hard in your story. By avoiding stereotypes and investing in the creation of well-rounded characters, your story not only gains credibility but also a stronger, more compelling voice. Remember, vibrant characters make for vibrant storytelling. Chapter 5, Setting the Scene. When your world doesn't work, the setting of your story is more than just a backdrop. It's an essential element that supports and enhances your theme. However, it's a common oversight to choose a setting that clashes with the narrative's core message, weakening the overall impact of the story. One of the first steps to aligning your setting with your theme is to consider the mood you want to convey. For instance, a story about isolation might be better set in a remote, wintry landscape than a bustling city center. The environment should mirror the internal landscape of your narrative. Research is your ally. Whether your setting is a real place or a product of your imagination, knowing the details can make your world believable and compelling. According to a survey by Writer's Digest, stories with well-researched settings see a 30% increase in reader engagement. Use the setting to reflect or contrast with the emotions of your characters. A vibrant party scene can highlight a character's loneliness, while a quiet library might amplify a character's turmoil. This technique, known as pathetic fallacy, where the environment mirrors the emotions, adds a layer of depth to your storytelling. Don't forget the senses. Describing what characters smell, hear, and touch can bring a setting to life. Sensory details make the environment immersive and memorable. Don't tell me the moon is shining, show me the glint of light on broken glass, Anton Chekhov famously advised, highlighting the power of specific sensory details. Chapter 6, The Harmony of Elements. Tying it all together in the final leg of your storytelling journey, it's crucial to ensure that all elements, theme, plot, characters, and setting, work together harmoniously. Dissonance among these can confuse readers and dilute the impact of your story. Review each component with the theme in mind. Does your plot advance the theme? Do the characters embody or challenge the theme in meaningful ways? If any element feels out of sync, it may need reworking. It's like conducting an orchestra where every instrument must play its part in harmony. Contrast and balance are your tools here. For example, A dark theme might be balanced with moments of humor or light to prevent the narrative from becoming too oppressive. This balance can make the darker moments more striking and the overall story more enjoyable. Feedback is invaluable. Sharing your manuscript with trusted beta readers can reveal where elements might not be aligning as you intended. Often, what's clear in our heads doesn't translate perfectly on the page. As Stephen King aptly puts it, write with the door closed, rewrite with the door open. Lastly, embrace revisions. It's rare to get everything right in the first draft. Revising allows you to refine and polish, ensuring each part of your story contributes to the whole. Remember, a diamond only achieves its true brilliance through cutting and polishing. By carefully crafting each element of your story to support and enhance your central theme, you create a cohesive and compelling narrative that holds the reader's attention from start to finish. Each piece is crucial. Make sure they all work together to tell the story you want to share.